Welcome and settle in. Tonight, we will drift with something that moves so slowly you rarely notice it. Yet it touches every compass needle, every quiet arc of aurora, and the subtle orientation of tiny grains cooling in ancient rocks. It is the slow drift of Earth's magnetic field, a gentle migration that hums beneath our feet while you breathe, unhurried and calm. How sleepy are you on a scale of 1 to 10 if this kind of soft science helps you unwind? A like and a gentle subscribe would mean a lot. And there's a playlist link in the description if you'd like to keep floating through more topics as you drift off. Imagine yourself sitting near a window at night. The world outside is still. On the table rests a simple compass, its little needle finding its place in the quiet. It leans toward a north that is not exactly the North Pole, not exactly fixed, but slowly, quietly changing. You might picture faint strands, like fine threads of mist curving out from Antarctica and gathering again in the Arctic, passing through you, through your home, through the cool night air. These threads are the invisible field lines of Earth's magnetism, and they sway with a patience that suits bedtime. Inside the planet, far below your pillow, the outer core flows. It is an ocean of molten iron alloy, moving in great slow streams, stirred by heat from the deeper core and guided by Earth's rotation. As this metallic ocean moves, it generates currents and fields, a process called the geodynamo. You can imagine it as a vast, heavy, liquid bell ringing in a rhythm too low to hear. The ring never stops, but its tone and shape change over years and centuries. This is why the magnetic field breathes and drifts, why the needle on the compass always knows where to point, and also why that place is never perfectly the same. Over the last century, magnetic north has wandered from the Canadian Arctic, strolling gently toward Siberia. The pace has varied, sometimes slower, sometimes a little quicker, much like a person strolling along a shoreline, pausing now and then to watch the water. Cartographers and scientists update models to reflect the wander, and pilots, ships, and smartphones quietly adopt those updates. No fanfare, simply a soft correction beneath the surface of daily life. The world magnetic model is recalibrated, and the world sighs into alignment again. If you were to look at a map drawn with magnetic lines, you would see gentle curves marked with declination values, showing how much a compass differs from true north at different places. If you let your finger trace one of those lines across the map, you might feel as though you are following a river, a calm current meandering across continents and oceans. In some places, the field dips downward into the ground. In others, it rises. This dip, called inclination, is steep in the far north and south, and gentle near the magnetic equator, where the needle rests nearly level. You might imagine walking along that magnetic equator under a sky shimmering with heat, the compass balanced, relaxed, the world unhurried. The story of this field is written in stone. When lava cools into basalt, iron-bearing minerals align with the local magnetic field, and as the rock solidifies, the orientation is locked in place, like a snapshot of a breeze captured in a curtain. On the seafloor, new crust forms along mid-ocean ridges, spreading out like ribbons that record the magnetic direction of the planet at the moment of cooling. Over millions of years, these ribbons show that the field has flipped many times, north becoming south and south becoming north. The flips are slow, spread across thousands of years, emerging like the turning of a page in a very thick book. Between flips, the field also drifts in direction and strength, patiently, steadily, like long tides. Closer to the surface, there are quiet anomalies, places where the field is a little weaker or stronger, shaped by differences in rock or by the broad geometry of the core's flow. One well-known softness in the field lies over parts of the South Atlantic and South America. For satellites that pass through, engineers plan with care. A little extra shielding here, a gentle adjustment there. On the ground, the change is modest, untroubling, a whisper rather than a shout. The sky above sometimes offers auroras, pale greens and purples that move like slow curtains in a draft, guided by the magnetic field as it catches particles from the solar wind and ushers them toward the poles. The magnetosphere, a large protective envelope around Earth, is shaped like a teardrop, compressed on the side facing the sun and stretched on the night side into a long tail. It flexes calmly with solar rhythms, and your planet rests within it, sheltered and serene. Animals move with this field as well. Migrating birds carry tiny sensors built by nature, crystals and molecules that respond to those same soft lines of force. Sea turtles, after decades away, turn and swim toward the beaches of their birth, guided by a magnetic memory stored in their bodies. Even certain bacteria form minuscule chains of magnetite, orienting themselves along lines that pass through pond water and soil. You can picture these organisms as quiet travelers, carrying invisible compasses, their paths aligning with the planet's gentle breath. On a human scale, observatories watch the field from quiet buildings made with non-magnetic materials. Inside, instruments with names like fluxgate magnetometers and proton precession sensors hum softly, measuring the field's strength and direction from moment to moment. The data flows to servers, to maps, to models, accumulating day and night. Scientists compare these records with others from satellites and from archaeological finds like ancient hearths where clay cooled in a field subtly different from today's. In this way, the present speaks to the past, and the past helps steady our sense of the present. What time is it for you at this exact moment? Consider how gently this field touches everyday life. Runways at airports are numbered according to their compass orientation, and as declination changes, a simple painting aligns the numbers with the new reality. Surveyors adjust their instruments. Digital maps quietly account for the drift. The changes are never in a hurry. They unfold in the background, leaving you space to breathe slowly, to sink into the pillow, to notice the light hush of air in the room. You might enjoy imagining that you are a droplet of molten iron in the outer core, buoyant and warm, rising slightly and then drifting sideways under the influence of Earth's rotation, then sinking again, tracing loops that repeat and vary with infinite patience. Around you, other droplets circulate, forming broad spirals that give birth to magnetic swirls. These swirls thread through the mantle, through the crust, out into space and back again, enveloping the planet. Everything is slow, everything is smooth. The gentle rhythm continues. There is a quiet connection between the molten core's motion and the surface we know, mediated by the field and by the subtle tug of rotation. Some variations in the field reflect shifts deep in so, like the slow rearrangement of a quiet orchestra. The strength near the surface ranges from a few tens of microteslas in the tropics to higher values in the polar regions, a softly graded map of intensity. Over a human lifetime, the changes amount to a slow drift in direction and a mild ebb and flow in strength. Your compass from childhood would still find its way today, though it might lean a little differently, like an old friend with a new habit. In the far north, where the field plunges steeply, you could hold a compass and feel the downward pull on its needle, a tiny weight of magnetism. In the tropics, you could feel it relax to the horizontal. These are quiet experiences, examples of the way the field fills space continuously, without edges or seams. The lines that textbooks draw are simply guides, threads laid onto a smooth fabric. At night, the same field guides the soft glow of auroras, where charged particles spiral down and energize molecules high in the atmosphere, then release that energy as gentle light. You might imagine these lights as the planet's own lullaby, a slow motion watercolor that sings of alignment and calm. Across centuries, explorers carried simple compasses, floating needles in bowls, to cross oceans under clouded skies. Even then, they noticed that the compass did not point exactly to geographic north, and that the offset changed from place to place. Their logs became early maps of declination, hand-drawn testaments to the field's quiet complexity. Now, satellites scan the globe and computers distill their measurements into models with soft contours and shaded gradients. The essence, however, is the same loved instrument on the table by your window, the same reliable nudge toward a drifting north. As this night deepens, you can rest with the knowledge that the field will continue its slow dance without needing your attention. The molten heart of Earth will keep moving. The magnetosphere will keep curving around the planet, guiding particles and shaping faint auroral veils. Birds will follow magnetic hints on their journeys. Rocks will cool and record the direction of now. And your compass, if you look again tomorrow, will settle to its place with the same unhurried confidence. Let your breath match the idea of that drift, steady and gentle. Imagine yourself floating above a globe where lines of magnetism glow faintly, looping and settling, joined to a core that murmurs with the low thunder of ancient heat. The lines move, and you do not need to. The gentle rhythm continues, and you are allowed to close your eyes to sink into the calm. Thank you for sharing this quiet moment. Sleep is safe here, and you can return to the present whenever you wish, or drift onward if that feels right. If this helped you rest, a soft tap on subscribe and a like supports us in making these peaceful videos regularly. For now, feel the steady earth beneath you, the protective field around you, and allow the night to carry you toward deep, untroubled rest.